Hello. All right, this is the first time doing this, so literally don't know what I'm doing. Hi, Letty. How are you? I'm so nervous right now. I've never done this before, and I didn't promote it at all because I'm like scared I'm going to use a lot of foul language. Like, normally I can edit that out. So, I hope you had a good Thanksgiving, everybody. So, I am wearing my Gobble Gobble shirt today because today is our Gobble Gobble shirt. Today's our Gobble Gobble day. See all that stuff I get to edit out normally. I don't get to edit that today. All right. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk a little bit about the Carnival Sunrise wrap up, which is what I normally do after every single cruise, to give you a little bit of an idea of kind of things that happened. Maybe if I discussed, but maybe elaborate a little bit more in the vlogs, or maybe some things that didn't even come up. I did touch a little bit on a little bit of the bad stuff that happened. Now I'm gonna go over that just a little bit, and then also I have one other item that came up in a question about the interior, because I didn't do a lot of the interior vlogging, and I kind of should have, but I was kicking back the last couple days. What I'm going to do is touch a little bit on things that were going on, that were happening during the rain and the hurricanes that we were going through, and what that experience was like, and some tips on what you should be able to do, especially during hurricane season. If you haven't heard this before, I'm going to tell you now. So let's get started. So I'm going to start with the bad, like I normally would, and then kind of get that out of the way so you don't have to think about that, and then we'll go to the good. Oh, probably the worst thing that happened was that my friend's cabin was not clean. And when I'm talking not clean, it's like there was hair still in the room. In the cabin, there was a dirty rag left in the cabin. The bathroom wasn't checked on at all because some of the pipe opening was still open, which is kind of really bad. And that means to me they didn't even go in there, but they literally just left the dirty rag and then just kind of said, okay, you're done. It was bad. But what ended up happening was my friend's fiance and I went down to talk with somebody, and they kept saying go to guest services, and we kept saying we've called guest services, we've done all those things, nobody's coming. And what I was thinking is that they were at lunch or something, because it was now the cabins were open and we were able to go in. So what ended up happening is that whoever I was complaining to, so I'm not going to say who it was, took us down into the crew area. Yeah, where we weren't supposed to be, and we were told we weren't supposed to be there by the hospitality director. But he was very kind and he understood, and my friend's fiance showed him pictures and stuff. It was just like, it was really, really bad, and not a great thing, especially coming off what we've come off in the last couple of years, to see that nothing was done in your room pretty much, except maybe your bed was made. And I want to say that I believe there was a lot of new staff on this particular ship. That's what I'm thinking. There was a lot of new staff. So anyway, he ended up coming back up to the room as fast as we got back to the room, like in the regular way. He had some back doorway, and came up and he met us at the room and looked it over and says, yeah, this isn't acceptable. And he was very, very kind about it. He said, we'll get someone up here right away, and they got it all cleaned and everything. So that was really good. But to start off a cruise, especially for my friend's fiance, which was his first cruise, not a good experience. And but yeah, that was not good at all for anybody. The other thing that kind of went really bad was, and I talked a little bit about that in the vlog, was the brunch that I went to, where I felt it was almost disrespectful in a way. I was already solo at the time. It was the second half of the back-to-back. And they just kept walking back and forth. So if you didn't see that vlog, basically I waited quite a bit of time to be able to get into the dining room, and then waited while waiters were walking by and not acknowledging me and this other lady who was sitting on another table. And they were helping other people off to the sides and really not even saying, hey, has your waiter stopped by? We didn't have water, nothing. And it was a good almost 30 minutes before I went to complain. I hardly ever complain. Most people know this about me. It takes a lot to get me there. And it got me there. I was like, I'm hungry at this point. So I was like, gosh, I shouldn't complain. There's worse things going on in the world. We've just gone through one hurricane. We're possibly going through another at that point. And I was like, man, it's such a ridiculous thing to complain about. But it was about an hour. And I think it was more of the disrespect of the staff just walking by. I think that was more of what it was. So, there's that. And then finally, the hospitality director, the manager, the restaurant manager, whomever he was, I went and got him, and he came over and helped. If you didn't see that in the vlog, they were very helpful. They, like offering all kinds of free stuff. I mean, it's not my deal. I mean, if you want to get it, I mean, that's always great. If Letty was there and they said, hey, I'll get you a mimosa, I would have said, get Letty the mimosa. That's how it would have been. Although I don't think she would have waited that long. I'm a little more patient, but not at that point. So total time of waiting was about an hour. So that was kind of crazy. So based on those two things, I'm going to tell you about overall my cabin and the other dining and stuff. So the cabins were, yes, you wouldn't have waited. And I would have got you the mimosa. Definitely, Letty. So my cabins were great. They're both interior considered. The one in the front, Letty had actually showed me about. And I moved from the one interior without the window to the other one. That was actually beneficial, considering if you have a few days at sea, you're going to want a balcony or something with a window just to kind of be able to hang a little bit, but still have that fresh kind of sunlight coming in, even if it's not fresh air. I think it would have been hard to be in the room too many days, considering the type of weather we were having with rain and stuff like that, which is to be expected. You know what? I knew I went in September. It was a good deal. So, you can't break that up. And I'll tell you, the total cost of that cruise was very inexpensive. It was less than $100 a day. So, I mean, it was a really good deal for the 10 days. And so that's the reason I went with the interior. If I had gone with the balconies the whole time, it would have been great also. Balcony is fantastic. But it's going to be, it would have cost like probably twice as much. So it wouldn't have been cost effective for me to do that at that time. But you risk hurricanes, right? And we got two. But the cabins itself are really great. I do recommend trying those front ones. I was always fearful. I never did a front forward cabin. I was always scared. I heard that that's where you feel everything. Oh, I was a little worried because I do get seasickness. And but I did have my little seasickness pills, and I ended up having no issues, none, not even with the rain and the wind and the hurricanes and stuff. I had no issues, so that was really great. I was on the 7th deck, so I think that makes a difference. I think if I was on a lower deck or even a higher deck, I heard that you feel it a lot more in the front, but if you're in the middle, I think pretty much anywhere on the ship, you're going to be good to go. I typically am in toward the middle back area, so it's very rare that I do anything forward. But that was an experience, and I would do that cabin again. Now, first time I get seasickness in that cabin, I probably will never do it again. But it was a great little cabin. So thank you, Grandma on the Go, for showing that cabin. And she had got a really good deal on hers when she went on her 7-day. So you got to find those good deals and lock them in. So, all right, let me get to my notes here. All right, that's the cabins. Okay, let me talk about, gosh, I got to talk about food. Okay. All right, overall, I want to say the food was about a 7. We did have a few bad things. Our waiters, Pasquale, and now I can't remember the other two, but the head waiter was Pasquale. Oh my God, he was fantastic. Probably the best waiter I've ever had. They're always great, but he was probably the best. He would bring us stuff, and then he would go, I'm going to have you try this too. And he'd bring us like a couple extra things. Now, I know they just changed the Carnival rules where, you have to pay if you get multiple entrees beyond your initial or whatever it is. But he was bringing us food, and he brought us a whole bunch of desserts. I kept telling him I didn't want the praline. I didn't really like the praline before, and I tried again, and I still didn't like it. Does somebody likes the praline cake? No. That's not for me. I want a cheesecake. That sounds bad. I want cheesecake. I want the chocolate lava cake. What else? I don't like the apple pie, so I never get the apple pie. It's never good. I make the best apple pie if I do so myself. And so I just know that I'm too picky with the pie, so I'll never get a apple pie from the dining room. It hasn't been a good experience. I don't know what it is. So, but dining room, great. Overall, it was about a 7, but I would say I would kick it up to a 9 just because we have the best staff, the best. That was the first half of the cruise. The second half of the cruise, I actually didn't go to the dining room once, which sounds horrible, but I had already kind of had that food. So then I thought, I'll just try the buffet this time, because I didn't go to the buffet once. We didn't go for brunch. We didn't go for breakfast, or I don't even think we went for lunch. We had brunch, and we had dinner in the dining room, and then we had like guys burgers or whatever. Sometimes I didn't have lunch, but we never went to the buffet that whole first 5 days. And then when my friends left, I jumped in there and did the buffet. I think probably most days. Most days, yeah, most days. And it was good. And I have to tell you, the cakes and the desserts, I'm still carrying about 5 desserts. I think maybe like 20 desserts around my waist, because I think that's how many I ate. And you saw all of those in the vlogs. Oh my gosh. Yeah. They were good. That's one thing sometimes you can get cake and it's very dry, but all of the desserts were really, really good this time from the buffet. Some almost better than the dining room. So anyway, all right, let's move on. Let me get my stuff here. All right, for the ship. Now, this is an older ship. Tons of vlogs out there about it. I compare it a lot between Carnival Imagination, which is one I've gone on that used to be out of Long Beach, and now the Carnival Radiance. I want to say it's right in the middle of those two. It's about that size. And it's, wow. It's, it seems very condensed. I don't know how to explain that. You really just have your main decks of deck 5 for things, and then you have deck 9 for the Lido. Now, in the bigger ships, it's like deck 10, deck 11 and stuff. But deck 9 and deck 5. And for some reason, I felt it was a little more condensed than I felt on the Radiance, which obviously, I think the Radiance is slightly bigger. And maybe that's why. And, but they did have a lot of the, it looked a little upgraded. Like I knew that they had painted the hull, the blue now, but they hadn't, I don't know if they did too much inside. It looked like a little bit like some new carpeting and a little bit of new decor, but not a whole lot. What I felt on that ship was that it was actually pretty great if it was the 5-day, but because I did it back to back, I actually felt that I like ran out of things to do, basically. The shows, obviously repeat in a back-to-back. You're going to see a lot of that repeating stuff. So if you do a back-to-back, you got to think about that. I would prefer doing it on a larger ship where if I feel like if I'm going to have to choose something, I know I could do it on the second leg. I feel that that's the better part. So do have that on a bigger ship, and also make sure that it's a time frame where you're actually going to have different ports, which is what I had different ports, and that actually helped, except for the little hurricane that came in. So Lord, and I felt really, really bad because there was 2 hurricanes. One, I get internet on there, so I was messaging with one of my friends, and they have family in Puerto Rico. So I was feeling like, man, who cares if I missed a port at that point? Because I was just like, gosh, I pray that they get electricity. Didn't have electricity. She didn't know when she'd be able to get over there to help her dad. And it was just really, really, it was a bad moment, And then another hurricane comes through, and it's like, Lord, gosh, people, and it's just one of those things living in that area, though. The hurricanes come through, and it's every year. You never know which island is going to be, touched on, and, lives are going to be affected. So anyway, all right. So let me get past that. All right. So anyway, I was praying the whole time because I was like, oh, but if we had gone to all the ports, then it would have been quite a bit of breaking up that back-to-back type of schedule. Well, my first excursions on the so what was I talking about? Oh, see, this is where I can edit. I can edit back and say, okay, now we're going to go back and say, let me finish what I was talking about. So the ship overall has everything that you need, except for the fact that if it's a really long cruise, you're going to run out of things to do. That's just the fact of it. So like the shows repeat, everything kind of repeats and stuff. So that's the part that's bad about a back-to-back. But what I did see is that the shows were actually really, really amazing. They were very good. The singers are really knocking it out now. And I just think I think Carnival's really stepped up their game with elevating their entertainment. So that's a good thing. So the other thing is what was the casino obviously comes through in the middle of deck 5, and when you're walking through from place to place, I used to get a lot of that cigarette smoke. I did actually not have that effect in this casino. And that was interesting because I know that smoking was occurring. I think that they've upgraded the ventilation. So if anybody has an issue with that or is very sensitive to that, I could tell from going from one ship to another that has that same kind of layout that I did not smell the cigarette smoke and walking through the casino as much as possible. I did get a little frustrated in trying to get to the casino. Get to the comedy club, because you have to go through the casino and then go down a set of stairs into the lower area. So the mid elevators are the ones you have to take down, or you have to go through deck 5, go around the casino bar, go down the stairs, and then there's the comedy area. It's like a very confusing type of layout right there. You can also take the elevator down, of course, but you've got to go on the right elevator. So otherwise you can't get to it. It was a little bit of a confusing layout. I'm sure there's like a go around somewhere, but I couldn't figure out where that was. But that's the way I knew how to get to the comedy show. The comedians were actually really good. There were some that touched on a couple things that were maybe a little, not even like risque, but maybe a little politically offensive, societal offensive. But overall, I mean, through their whole sets, they were actually really, really, really good. Oh yes, the Radiance is like that too. It's built. It has that same kind of layout where you have to like go through that one deck. That's true, Letty. Yep. And same with that imagination stuff. Oh, Keisha, when is your next cruise? Let me know. All right. So that is a lot to do with the ship. There wasn't many people in the pools, but there were people on the slides, which was really interesting. So I thought that was quite, it was a different take on. And mostly I see a lot of people in the pools, but there were more people on the slides this time, which was kind of fun. March and April. Okay. So my next is, I'll talk about my next in a little bit. All right. Let's see. And tell me what ships you're going on, if you want to share, Kesha. All right. Let's talk about... All right. Normally, everybody knows I go to the Serenity deck and hang out. The Serenity deck was always full. Always full. And so I was not able to get up there hardly at all. And it kind of was, yeah, not the greatest. It was very small, very congested. That's the first time I'd never been able to get a place on the Serenity deck. That's the only thing that I think drew me back on that whole ship was the Serenity area. Oh, okay, on the Sunshine. Okay, the Sunshine's supposed to be pretty similar to the Sunrise. And I have not been on the Legend. Although there is a cruise that I saw that I think goes out of, can't remember now. It's on the Legend that, I think I was looking at one on the Legend because it's going to Bimini. And I'll tell you why in just a minute. I know, Letty, your next cruise is tomorrow. I'm so excited for you. I hope you're packing. All right. Oh. All right, let's talk about excursions. So the first half of the cruise, I was with my friends. Oh my gosh, we had such a blast. We had the most amazing time. We had, we went to, what was our first stop? We went to Jamaica. And we did the river tubing and Blue Hole. That was fantastic. I had the best experience on that particular cruise and or excursion. Oh my gosh! So the guys were really, really great. We did book from the ship. Felt a little more comfortable doing that. That was my first time in Jamaica, and our group on the tour bus was actually fabulous. You know, sometimes the vibe on the bus can actually mess you up for your excursion. It wasn't like that. We were all having a blast, having a good time. Everybody was talking and exchanging like thoughts and stuff. And then we got off and got all decked out with our stuff and went down and got on that tube. If anybody is worried about not being able to swim or something like that, you're pretty much on the tube the whole time. If you do come off, you have a life vest. The people are there with you the whole time. I feel like every time I turned around, they're right there. There was quite a few with us. Our group was about maybe 16, 17 people in our group. And so that worked out really well to keep it where we felt like we were safe the whole time. And that lasted maybe about 45 minutes going down. And it had some little bit of like, rocky areas and stuff. So that was fun. And then we finished there and then went up to the Blue Hole and just jumped. It was so much fun, and did the rope swing. That was probably one of the best ones that I've done in a long time like that. But that amazing. I love anything that's adventurous and stuff like that. So that always works out really well. Then we went to where'd we go? Oh, Grand Cayman. So Grand Cayman, I've always said, is one of my favorite ports. I've been there 4 times now. And somehow, some way, I always end up with someone who wants to go to the Stingray City. And so I've been to Stingray City every single time, which is totally fine. I'm fine because I see their faces and it is so much fun. Not scary at all. You get in, the sand on your feet, it's like, it's the softest stuff you'll ever feel on your, like on the bottom of the ocean. You can see all the way to the ground. You can see the stingrays going through. It's not scary at all. And everyone there, it just makes you feel really safe. Kids were there, everybody, all ages were on that excursion. And we also went to the Grand Cayman Turtle Sanctuary. Oh my gosh, can't even remember that one. And that one was interesting because they said swim with the turtles, and we thought, oh, I don't know what I was thinking. I thought it was going to be more like an ocean reserve. I don't know how to explain that, but some reserves or sanctuaries are on like a coastline to where you have a like an area in the ocean that's kind of netted off or something where you can swim with them and stuff. And that's what I thought we were actually doing. But actually, it's more like a man-made area inside that sanctuary. And so we ended up swimming in there. And we did see turtles. You saw that in the vlog. If you didn't, you can go ahead and like find that one and look at it. But there are turtles in there, so that's good. We swam with turtles. It's exactly what it said. But that's not really what I was hoping for. I don't know. And I didn't watch any vlogs or anything. I just went with what my friends wanted, and you do what you do. But we had a great time. And he got engaged there. So that was exciting. I was so excited. That was like a planned thing. Oh my gosh. My friend, oh my God. He's like, so there was so much more to that video that I recorded, but I didn't want to put it out there. But he's just so he's a very controlling person. He's a type A. I'm a very type A. I'm very controlling and very like, you have to be in that in my line of work. So I'm an event planner, and so yeah, everything's very structured. Like, no, you do this and then this and then this. And I couldn't keep him. He had his own focus. But anyway, it was very exciting. And I was glad to be able to capture some of it and stuff, and be able to for them to be able to have that for the future so they could witness that. They plan to go back and do a land vacation there. They loved it just as much as I did. I just love Grand Cayman. I think you can do something on land there and just experience it all. I feel the same way about Puerto Rico, which I'll talk about later. I've only been on one cruise so far with my girlfriends, and we just hung out. Puerto Rico. Oh, yeah. And Cozumel is amazing. I love Cozumel. I'm so excited to be able to go back. When am I going back? I have no idea when I'm going back. I think in March. So anyway, all right. The other excursion I did was in Nassau, and everyone was talking about Margaritaville, so I went to Margaritaville, and actually, I loved it. I've been in Nassau before. I never got off the ship because I was like, there's just shopping and stuff that I didn't feel like there was a whole lot of excursions and stuff. I mean, there's Atlantis, but I just thought, okay, I'll try Margaritaville, and it was good. I will tell you this. The food is not worth the price. I'm going to tell you that. It was not that good, and it was very expensive. I want to say it was over $20 for this little food basket thing. And it's a resort, so I get it, but still, like, at least make it decent. I didn't feel it was that good. So my thought is eat before you get off the ship, go have a really good time, and then go eat somewhere else in the Bahamas, because that was not really worth it. So take a little bit of money, like, to have for whatever if you want other little things. But otherwise, I wouldn't. I don't think the food is worth it. If you want to get drinks, like, they have a bar there too. Did I get anything? I don't even remember. Anyway, I think I got a beer. Of course, everybody's got it. I have to have a beer. Oh, all right. So the other thing is that we were supposed to stop at one other port, so that was Grand Turk. When the first hurricane, unfortunately, hit various islands, they hit Puerto Rico, and it also hit the one hurricane, and it hit Grand Turk, and it affected their port. So unfortunately, we didn't go there, and I was fine. Because as soon as I got on the ship, I realized it changed, and I was actually texting Letty, and I was like, guess where we're going? We're going to Bimini instead. And I was like, oh my gosh. Letty had shown me a YouTube channel, or sent it to me, and she's basically saying, I will never do this. And I'm like, I would so do this. And it was swimming with reef sharks. I booked that excursion as soon as I had it up. I was like, booked. I'm there. So I was super excited to be able to go. And then we were notified that the second hurricane was coming in, and it was not safe to do that. So my goal, and like I said, I think I saw one in the Carnival Legend, and I think I saw another Carnival one that goes to Bimini, maybe just for like a quick weekend one, but I'm always ready to tack something on another cruise. It goes to Bimini, and I want to do that. Now, Letty said she would go with me and be my camera person. She goes, I will be in the boat and stick the camera in there. Oh, yes, that's what you'll be doing. So, and that's fine. I'm happy as long as I can do it. So, but I'm excited to be able to do that. I have done something similar in other areas. I've gone into like tanks with sharks and stuff like that. I've done that, but this would be out in the ocean, and I was really excited to be able to try and do that. So anyway, so in the future. Oh, anyway, so then I had sea days, lots of sea days to kick back and do nothing and watch some shows. And they didn't have Deal or No Deal, or no, they did have Deal or No Deal. Yes, they did, because I went with my friends. But they didn't have something else they didn't have that I noticed in they canceled one of the shows, one of the rock shows or something. I don't know if it had to do with the waves or anything like that, but a couple things were canceled during the time on the ship. Maybe that's why I got a little like I've been on here a long time, and the ports were canceled and things like that. Just a lot of changes. And then some of the activities that were outside, because it rained the last day, were all brought inside. So I think that condensed everything inside. But I'm always good for a good dance party if it's inside or outside. So I was finding all of those things and going to them. So that's always my go-to. That's always fun. My daughter-in-law is messaging me because she's I'll have to message her back. She goes, what's everybody bringing for food today? Because it's our gobble gobble day. And I'm going to my mother-in-law's. I leave right after this. So let's talk about what's coming up. All right, so Letty and I are going on the Carnival celebration. Yeah! Well, she has cruises before that. She has two. So very excited for her. So I can't wait to see her vlogs that are going to be coming out. Um, but I will be with her on the Carnival celebration. We actually booked a balcony this time, so the price was pretty decent for a balcony. And splitting it is always makes it nice, and and we do pretty good on there together. And we are joining, or we are being joined by Elsie and Will, who we met on the Carnival Mardi Gras in March of this last year, and she was also with me in the Alaska vlogs as well. So they're going to be on that cruise. We figured that would be really great to meet up with on the kind of the next sister ship for what we did in the Mardi Gras. Met them there, sister ship. Now I'm trying to get Letty to go on the Jubilee, and then we can all do all three of those sister ships together. So, but we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. Right, Letty? Yes. All right. Let's see. What do I have? Oh, where are we going on that one? Where are we going? We're going to St. Martin. We're going to San Juan, and we are going to Amber Cove again. So in Amber Cove, last time on the Mardi Gras, we actually, the waterfalls, the 27 waterfalls was canceled, that portion, because there was a storm right before we got there. So our plan is to go to those waterfalls. Oh, really excited to be able to go to the waterfalls, and then we're going to go see the monkeys. I don't know what it's called. Monkey farm, monkey sanctuary, monkey land. It's monkey something. Anyway, so we are booked to go to do that. And then we are going to San Juan, and we are actually, so those friends, they actually have family in Puerto Rico, and or that couple, and so they know Puerto Rico really, really well. So they're actually going to take us. Last time we went to the forts because that's what we wanted to go do. This time we're going to go see something else. Oh, we're going to have people local people, basically. I don't call them local people because they don't live there, but people who know the island really well, and we're going to go do that. Letty, we did the zip line last time. Are we doing the waterfalls? Aren't we doing the waterfalls? I hope that's what we signed up for. All right. She's going to look it up. She's going to be like, wait a minute, hold on. What did we sign up for? And then there you are. All right. And then so that's what we're going to do there. And then in St. Martin, so I'm going to do whatever Letty wants. And she wants to go to Maho Beach because she wants to see the airplanes. So we're just going to grab a taxi, the four of us. We're going to go to Maho Beach. We're going to hang out. We're going to see those planes. We're going to get that done. We're there early in the morning until only, I want to say, like 3 or 4. It's like a weird day, but we're going to go early and go to Maho Beach and do all that. And then in the after that, I don't know, we're going to get something to eat. We're going to go hang out. And we're going to find, Letty's always really good about finding things. And so I always leave the planning and stuff to her. That's what I do in my daily life. So let someone else do that portion. And so I'm leaving it up to you, Letty. So that's our times there. Now on the ship, what we did is we ended up deciding we're going to do the chef's table. I've done it once before with my husband. And I mean, I never thought I'd have to do it again. It's, I think if you don't order a lot of extras, it can be fine. If you end up ordering a lot of extras and stuff like that, it can get a little pricey. But we're going on the first night, so we'll get a bottle of wine, unless they take that luxury and perk away. Because currently, right now, it seems like Carnival is changing a lot of things. I hope they do not go back to the old E-Muster, which is what I'm hearing from other cruise lines. I really do like the way the E-Muster is right now. So, but I'm hearing NCL has gone back to old ways, and yeah, I'm hearing some rumblings out there. So, and it's because people aren't doing it. So just do it and get it over with. It doesn't take very long, and I think that's the issue, is that people are not doing it, and so they're thinking they need to go and go back to the old ways to try to get everybody corralled together. I don't want to do that. So just do what you're supposed to do. Follow the rules. So, and I think on Carnivals was easy, and I want to say NCLs was even easier. So I don't really know what their reasoning is for going backwards. When we got on the Alaska cruise, so Letty, you'll be going on NCL a couple times here coming up. Let us know. Let us know in your vlogs. Like, let us know what happens. If it was easy, if they're going back to the old ways, let us know. Yeah, eMuster is so much better. So much better. I agree. I don't want to do that. I don't know. It just, I don't know. I just think it's, you know what? I think if you had to stand there, like if they had a video or TV or whatever, and you had to stand there and watch the video, I think that's what a lot of people are thinking, is that they have to, they're not watching the videos. They're just coming out and doing their thing, because a lot of people go on cruises multiple times, know what the videos are. So if they want to clear that up, just put a couple cameras or computers out where they're doing the life jacket thing, and have people watch the video, and then step over and have the guide do it and scan your card and go. You know, maybe there's some issues they're thinking with that. I don't know, but we'll see. Yes. I don't know how to say it. Demajagua Waterfalls and Monkey Land. Yes, she'll be going. Well, tomorrow she leaves. So excited for her to go on her cruises over the next, like, oh my gosh, like 12 days or something like that. You'll be on a couple cruises. So very excited. So, and you'll have a little bit of Wi-Fi. So share a little on Instagram, because you'll be on NCL. Okay? All right. Okay, Letty? You have a little Wi-Fi because you'll be in NCL. So let me know that you heard me. Share a little on Instagram. Let me know what's going on. Always with NCL? Yes. There it is. Always on NCL. When you log into the app, this is the one tip I'll give you guys. When you log into the app, if you only have so many minutes, you don't have the full unlimited. You have to log in, you have to do your posting of your Instagram or whatever, then you need to log out. Otherwise, it's running in the background, and then you lose all your minutes. So just remember that. You log into your Wi-Fi, and then you have to log out, or you lose those minutes. Oh, yeah, very excited for her. Oh, I did have another cruise booked in December, but I ended up, it wasn't going to work out. So if I could book another one, I would, but I can't. So my next cruise after the January one, I have a work conference that I'm going to Canada in February, and then in March I will be on the NCL breakaway in out of New Orleans. Oh, can't even talk. Out of New Orleans, and I can't remember where I'm going. I think that's the one I am going to to Cozumel. There was something that I was going to be doing. My kids are all messaging me. I don't even tell them I'm doing this. But let me look this up real quick. All right, here's my itinerary. Right, get reservation. Let's see if I can do this real quick. All right. Yes, I'm going to Cozumel, Costa Maya, Roatan, and Harvest Key. So that is kind of their, it's not a private island per se. It's a private, it's an area. It's an area that they have in Belize that, you know, you can kind of go. I want to say it's kind of like the Cozumel port. I don't know for sure, but I'm thinking it's kind of like that one. We'll find out when I go. I have been Belize before. My husband and I went, and we were in a, we were doing uh, the Great Barrier Reef. The second largest Barrier Reef is in that area in Belize. The first one, obviously, is in Australia, and so I wanted to do that. I wanted to snorkel in there, and there was a hurricane or storm or something that hit the day or two before, and so it was all like mushed and you couldn't really see anything. I don't know if that may be something I may try to do again. The in Costa Maya, I definitely want to go to the Maya ruins, so that has been on my bucket list, and I want to get that. I don't want to say checked off, because that would be ridiculous just to say I'm just going to check things off, but it is something that I really do want to see, having, you know, family and you know, my ancestry, you know, from that area and stuff, and learning more about it, I think would be really, really amazing. So I'm excited to be able to do all of that. Oh, anyway, all right. Well, I think that is it. I didn't cuss at all. I'm so proud of myself. Did I? Did I? I could have. Maybe I just didn't even know. But normally I have like a little potty mouth sometimes. So, but I'm pretty proud of myself for that not happening. All right. Well, I hope everybody has a beautiful day and had a wonderful Thanksgiving, and look forward to seeing everybody's vlogs and talking to you later. All right. Take care. Have a great day.